Hey guys, what's up? Back in another video. Today I'm going to do another classic pay-per-view review. This time we are doing the Elimination Chamber from the year 2012. So let's get this on the way, shall we? First off, we kick off with the first of two Elimination Chamber matches on this night. We had CM Punk defending the WWE Championship against the guys right there on the top. We have R-Truth, Miz, Chris Jericho, Dolph Ziggler, and Kofi Kingston. This was a very good opener. Not the best opener I've ever seen. I've seen better chambers, especially with some of the participants involved. I expected a lot better from it. The crowd really let this down as well. The Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Very weird night. They were into some things, but they weren't into other things. So, very typical crowd, really, if you think about it. But yeah, it wasn't the best crowd, and they kind of were a bit quiet towards this match, which is very surprising considering how popular CM Punk was at that time. Good stuff right here especially between Punk and Jericho. It was a very weird finish with Jericho where CM Punk, it came down to Jericho, Miz, and Punk, and Jericho threw, after Jericho had eliminated Kofi Kingston, he threw Kofi out the chamber, and as he did that, CM Punk gave him a roundhouse kick and knocked Jericho out the cage. And gave him a storyline, storyline knocked him out, like he knocked him out in storyline. And then, so Jericho wasn't able to continue. It was a way to protect Jericho in defeat, and then CM Punk would go on to retain the WWE Championship by beating Miz. So, it was a good start, but it was a very weird way of getting Jericho out of the Elimination Chamber, so that, because you were going to set up Punk versus Jericho at WrestleMania. Excuse me. Yeah, so you're going to set up Jericho versus Punk at WrestleMania, so I feel like they had to do it this way, but I felt like there could have been other ways of doing it a little bit better than to have Jericho. It was very weird. For me, it was very weird anyway. But anyway, CM Punk retains. It was a good opener, but it could have been better. Next matchup, we had some filler in between. We had Santino doing a Rocky Balboa parody, drinking raw eggs out of a glass. It was what it was. It's some funny stuff right there from Santino. Then we had a John Cena WrestleMania video package with him showing off his Hard Knocks gym, and featuring some future WWE stars like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Big E Langston, etc., etc. And just talking about, just as he builds a little bit closer to the match with him and The Rock at WrestleMania 28, which I've already reviewed, so I don't need to review that. Anyway. Next matchup, then we go back to the action. We have Beth Phoenix defending the Divas Championship against Tamina Snuka. This was okay. I was actually very surprised of how decent this was. I was actually expecting just a filler match, because around that time the Divas were the filler match. No disrespect to any of the Divas back then, but that's what they were kind of there for. Like give them 5 minutes and give them 5 minutes. And, a little bit of filler, a little bit of eye candy, and that was it. But hey, times have changed. It is what it is. Beth Phoenix and Tamina, they went out there and they put on a decent matchup. For my liking, there was a little bit too much of talking about Tamina's father, Jimmy Superfly Snuka. I know this was before the Jimmy Superfly Snuka stuff happened, before the Jimmy Superfly Snuka stuff came out. But it was very weary. The way that they kept talking about Jimmy Superfly Snuka and how Tamina it has tendencies of the Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Anyway, Beth Phoenix did some good heel work. She came out with like a Roddy Piper kilt braid, like the Scottish braid on her attire. As a little bit of insult for the Roddy Piper Jimmy Superfly Snuka feud. Anyway, Beth Phoenix picked up the win. It was decent. It was a decent match for what it was, and I think this was like the best I've ever seen Tamina look. So good stuff right here. Moving on. After that, we had tons of filler in between this one and the next match. We had some more Santino Rocky Balboa parody. This time he was punching the piece of meat in a meat locker. Then we had Chris Jericho being checked on by the doctors, and then we had a boring, pointless 10-minute promo from John Laurinaitis where a bunch of superstars came out and basically they want Laurinaitis to be the general manager, the permanent general manager of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Could have been. It was a very pointless segment. I get what it was trying to do. It was trying to set up the Teddy Long, John Laurinaitis team-on-team match at WrestleMania, but it could have been done on Raw. I don't know why they wasted precious pay-per-view time on this load of crap. Anyway, next match, and then we move on to the next match, which is the World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber match. We had Daniel Bryan taking on The Big Show, taking on Cody Rhodes, taking on the Great Khali, taking on Wade Barrett, taking on Santino Marella for the World Heavyweight Championship. Great stuff right here. This is my match of the night. Great stuff. They got rid of the two giants pretty early. Poor Khali was only in there for like a minute before he got eliminated by The Big Show. Got speared and eliminated by The Big Show. Big Show was targeting Daniel Bryan as they were feuding at the time. And what was kind of interesting about this was, in the same match that he was trying to get to Daniel Bryan, he ended up starting a feud with Cody Rhodes because Cody Rhodes really targeted The Big Show in this match, and that will lead to their WrestleMania program. Anyway, Daniel Bryan, it came down to Daniel Bryan and Santino. Great stuff. The crowd was really hot for Santino. That's what I didn't really understand. I get it was an underdog story, but for me, it was like, I didn't understand it. Like, it was a replacement, and they really wanted him to win. Like, they were very disappointed that he didn't win. I think it was the right result overall. I think it's a fun what if scenario with Santino, but I think they made the right call of having Daniel Bryan retain, especially going into WrestleMania with the 18-second loss to Sheamus, and the rest is history. But hey, Daniel Bryan would retain. Great match, probably my match of the night. And we move on to the next matchup. Or we move on to the next segment, shall we say. So yeah, Sheamus came out after the match and then basically, gave Daniel Bryan a white noise. Basically I forgot, Finley's own move, the air raid crash, as Tommaso Ciampa calls it now. Did that move on him and basically made his answer very clear that he's going to go after Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. Good stuff from Sheamus. Good stuff with Daniel Bryan. Two good chamber matches. Let's move on. After that, we had a silly segment backstage. We had a silly segment backstage involving Hornswoggle, Justin Gabriel, Natalya, Jack Swagger, and Vicky Guerrero, involving cheese. And basically, Hornswoggle insulted Vicky by pointing at her legs and saying cottage cheese, which insulted Vicky Guerrero. So Jack Swagger tried to, be mean to Hornswoggle, and Justin Gabriel stuck up for Hornswoggle, and then Teddy Long made an actual match between Jack Swagger and Justin Gabriel for right now for the United States Championship. Man, it was just and then we had the match, Jack Swagger versus Justin Gabriel. Very filler heavy. Very pointless, to be quite honest. Like, the way they set it up, I feel like these two could have had a really good match if it was built right and if it was on a better stage and better promoted and better executed. But they had like 5 minutes. It was the match before the main event. It was set up because Vicky Guerrero got insulted because Hornswoggle called her cottage cheese legs. So it was very silly, and then Jack Swagger just won with the ankle lock in like 5 minutes. So very pointless. I don't even know why it was on the pay-per-view apart from the fact that it was filling time. Anyway, we move on. So very pointless segment and match right there. And then of course we have the main event, which is John Cena taking on Kane in the finale of their story of the Embrace the Hate, Rise Above Hate storyline. And John Cena overcame. John Cena overcame the hate and he rose above it. And he beat the monster in a very entertaining, fun main event, in my opinion. It was very fun. I was expecting the same kind of match that they had at the Royal Rumble, where it was very dull and very bland and very slow at points and very methodic by Kane. But when there was some bits where when they were in the ring, when they were doing the in-ring stuff, that it was very slow and methodic. But when they got outside the ring and started using the environment as a weapon, it really picked up nicely, and it was a really good finale to the story. Yes, I do have my problems with the actual story. I would have liked to seen Cena show a little bit more aggression, and it kind of felt like at the end when Cena just won, and overcame. Like it really made me go like, well, what was the point of the story? It really really made me go like, what the hell was that about? Like, why did they waste 2 months? I think I understand. It made me back then. It made me realize, oh, it's just filler, like to get to the Rock. But it was what it was. Watching it back, it was a very fun match, a very fun, entertaining main event, as I said. And John Cena would win, and it did exactly what it needed to do, which was fill the gap between WrestleMania and between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, and also keep Cena out of the Rumble and the Elimination Chamber, so that people don't go like, why is he not in the Chamber? Because I know what people like. People will like go, wait, John Cena's a big star. Why isn't he in the Royal Rumble? Why isn't he in the Elimination Chamber? Well, he had a filler feud with Kane. That's the reason why. So I get why they did it, but it really, I think because I liked Kane putting the mask back on, it really kind of, and that kind of characters kind of influenced me. I kind of gravitate towards those kind of characters more than just the average. Hello, I'm here to be the babyface. Woo! I like interesting characters. That's why I like Bray so much. Back in 2014. By the way, happy 10-year anniversary to that. I know he's not here anymore, but yeah, celebrated 10 years recently. Well, I can't really say celebrate. It wasn't really a celebration, but yeah, I found out. I recently found out. It was a couple days ago. It was like I celebrated 10 years of being having Bray Wyatt as my favorite wrestler. So anyway, that being aside, fun main event. But overall, I thought the show was very filler. You could tell that it was the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania, and they just wanted to get things like, some stuff actually sorted, like the Jericho Punk stuff, like you knew where they were going in that direction. Bryan and Sheamus, that was set up for WrestleMania. Big Show and Cody was starting to set up. So there was a lot of starting patterns to know where they were going, but I felt like some of it could have happened on Raw, like the Jack Swagger Justin Gabriel match for starters, and the pointless John Laurinaitis 10-minute segment with a bunch of other superstars like Del Rio and Christian saying like, you should be the general manager, you should be the permanent general manager instead of Teddy Long. It was very pointless, didn't lead to anything. So I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. I liked both the chamber matches. I liked the World Heavyweight Championship one more than the WWE Championship one, and the main event was a very good main event with Cena and Kane. So overall, I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. Another one bites the dust for 2012. Hopefully they get some more done in the next couple of days or so, or maybe next couple of weeks or so, as we lead into the continuation into the remainder of February. We'll see about that. Don't quote me on that, because you never know, life gets in the way sometimes. Anyway, that's going to be it now, guys. Tell me what you think in the comments. Leave me a like if you deserve it, and I'll see you guys on the next video, whenever that may be. Take care, much love, and I'm out.